Shabbat Shalom, Israel. First off, giving our praise to the Most High and to His Son, Yahweh Shah. Let me say Salaki, Shabbat Shalom. Happy Feast of Dedication to brothers and sisters online and elsewhere. You know, today's class is the Greek captivity to the dedication. And we're going to cover this history from the Greek captivity leading up to the Feast of Dedication, because we in the Feast of Dedication. So like we said, it's very important that our brothers and sisters learn this history and learn why we celebrate the Feast of Dedication. We do not celebrate Christmas. We do not celebrate Thanksgiving. So like we celebrated the laws and high holy days that's commanded us in the scriptures. Like we're saying, as you repenting being an Israelite, it's things that you must do as a nation of people. Give me the book of Judges chapter 5 verse 11.
Book of Judges chapter 5 verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers.
That's going into destruction, because those archers is going into nuclear thermoballistic missiles. Read on out.
In the places of drawing water.
And drawing waters is a place of servitude. Here in America, we on the bottom of society, in all facets of society. You know, first fired, last hired. Any category that you could think of, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans are at the bottom of it. Read on out.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
So it says, read that part again. Where?
There
in the land of our captivity shall we rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord. So a lot of times we hear people all on Facebook saying, we can't keep the commandments, we can't keep the high holy days over here in captivity. Well, that ain't what the scriptures say. You know, that's why we ought to obey the Bible rather than men. Because men will lead you all into destruction, man. But guess what? The word of God will never lead you astray. So we can't go by that. Read that again.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
There, over here, shall we perform the righteous acts. That means keeping Passover over here in our captivity. Keeping the Feast of Dedication like we going to in our captivity. Keeping the destruction of Nicanor. Keeping Pentecost. Keeping the Feast of Tabernacles. That's why we are commanded to come together as a nation of people. Because guess what? You cannot do these things alone, man.
And the thing is, when people talking about celebrating, they celebrate every pagan holiday that it is. But they want to differentiate into all the blessings that the Lord had brought us through these different captivities when we won these different battles. They celebrate all, like I say all the time, like I just say, they celebrate our destruction. Why we can't celebrate their destruction, man? This is the time the Lord, guess what? And they rejoiced in that thing in the Bible. And guess what? Today we're going to prove it. We rejoiced in that thing too.
That's right. And like we say, a lot of times our people, they hate white supremacy, but then you'll go and celebrate Christmas. You know, you hate white supremacy, but then you'll go and celebrate Thanksgiving. You know, and that's why I to a degree, I understand some people are ignorant of these things. They don't know the history behind Christmas. They don't know the history behind Thanksgiving. So that's what these classes are for. That's what we tell brothers and sisters, take your pen and your pads, brothers online too. Write these things down so you can teach your children. So you can teach people that you walking by at the store with or just walking by at the way with. Because it takes all of us to raise up a nation. Right. Go to the book of 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. We're finna go into the history of our Greek captivity. Like we say, from Alexander all the way up until the dedication. Like we said, the Greek captivity started in 333 BC. Well, I won't say the captivity. It's just when the so-called white man came into power in 333 BC. Read that, Officer Yar.
The book of First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
So guess what? King Alexander was going around conquering all the dark nations. I don't know if brothers and sisters have seen that movie, Alexander, with Colin Firth. Guess what? Y'all can check that movie out, man. Esau put these movies out, but a lot of times you have to look at that thing in the spirit. They're giving you history. And I know a lot of times our people are visual people, so they need to see the things correlate with the words. So go and check those things out. But this is when Alexander the Greek came into power, and he was conquering all the dark nations. So like we say, we know the Egyptian captivity was first. The Assyrian captivity was second. The Babylonian captivity was third. the Persian and Mede captivity was for. And then after that is when the so-called white man had been conquering the earth and is still in control of the earth. So read on up.
That he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
So he was the first king over Greece. Alexander is the first so-called red man to gather all the Edomites together and put them under one rule. But we're going to read that didn't even last because the Most High gave them the spirit of a wicked heart. Read on up.
And made many wars.
And did what?
And made many wars.
But going back to this precept, this is what Daniel's prophesied about. Go to the book of Daniel chapter 8 verse 21 real quick. Because before things come about, guess what? The Most High God show us these things. That's how we know that the Bible is a true book. No man, Nostradamus, none of these wicked people can do what the Bible does. So I know we hear that out there on the street. How y'all know that the Bible is a true book? Well, didn't we go into slavery on slave ships? Yes, we did. And that was prophesied thousands of years before it came to pass. Read that out.
Daniel chapter 8 verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
Is the what?
Is the first king.
Going to who? Alexander the Greek. So the Most High had Daniel prophesied about that thing. What captivity was Daniel in, Brother Keenan?
Was it the Persian? Persian?
What you got, Junior? That's what you gonna say? Brother Shaya, what captivity was Daniel in?
Daniel was in the Babylonian captivity?
That's right. He was in the Babylonian captivity. So this is way even before the Persian and the Mede captivity. So we know the Most High is no joke, man. And he had Daniel prophesied about these things. Go to the book of Daniel chapter 7 and verse 6.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 6.
When you read from Daniel 7 and 1, the Most High is giving Daniel the understanding of the kings that will be reigning and that would have us in the captivity. Verse 4 is the Babylonian captivity. Verse 5 is the Persian Mede captivity. And then we finna read about verse 6. Read that out.
Verse 6 of Daniel chapter 7. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard.
Like a what?
Like a leopard.
Because even when y'all look at, if y'all ever get the chance to check out that move on Alexander, it's something that Alexander always rode into battle with. A leopard skin on the back of his horse. So the Bible gives you hints and little parables, but you also have to know world history to put these things together. Read on up. Read that from the top again.
After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads.
Had what?
The beast also had 4 heads.
Because if we know history out of Alexander the Greek, what came? Who came to rule in his place? He had 4 generals to rule in his place. Do anybody know who they are? We'll go back. Let's go back to the book of 1 Maccabees, and we'll get there. The 4 kings is Cassander. You got it out?
I got it.
Say it.
Cassander. Lysimachus.
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 Lysimachus. Yeah.
Okay.
Ptolemy.
Ptolemy and
Seleucus.
Seleucus. I can't pronounce none of them.
You good, huh? These ain't our names anyway, so you good, huh? So I know it's getting kind of cold. Brother Stephen, put it on 72 for me. What you got, Brother Shaya?
What chapter and verses before King's on?
In which book?
In Matthew.
Oh, we're going to go through that. I just had it written in my notes. But we finna go through that some more. Go back to the book of Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 2.
First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 2. And made many wars.
And did what?
And made many wars.
Conquering all the dark nations. Read on up.
And won many strongholds. And slew the kings of the earth.
Any dark nation that was ruling during that time, guess what? Alexander put him under his feet. Read on up.
And went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations.
Took many treasures, robbed the wealth of nations. Read on.
And so much that the earth was quiet before him.
That the earth was what?
Quiet before him.
That the earth was quiet before him. So guess what? He was putting all nations up under his feet, that the Most High God gave him reign over the whole complete earth. Read on up.
Whereupon he was exalted.
He was what?
He was exalted.
Uh-huh.
And his heart was lifted up.
You know when Esau take over things, guess what? They become what? Proud. You know, his heart was lifted up in him. He thought he was going to rule forever. Going back to our famous precept in Psalms. Read on up.
And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, and nations, and kings, who became tributaries unto him.
Now, tributaries is going into where the nations pay you taxes. That's how you know if you ruling or not. Like we tell brothers and sisters, who ruling the planet Earth? Oh, I don't know. Well, brother, take a dollar bill out of your pocket, and whose face is on that money. That lets you know that, guess what? You are in a servitude position. Because guess what? When we rule the planet Earth, we gonna have the other nations pay us taxes. Day and night, man. That thing gonna be rolling in, man. Come on, bring it hither. No, you ain't bringing it to the treasury. Give that to me. We gonna put it in the treasury. You know, we ain't playing them games. Read on up.
Verse 5. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die.
Because guess what? Alexander dealt in homosexuality. He was a homo, but he could fight. Don't get it twisted. He could fight, man, but he was a homo.
Even when you watch his movie, guess what? He was a homosexual on that movie too.
Yeah, he was. And a lot of times people say he got some type of a disease, syphilis or something of an STD, that he should die. So he only reigned, what did he say he reigned? 11 years. So he had control of the whole planet Earth for 11 years, then he died. Read on up.
Verse 6. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive.
So that's your precept right there, Brother Shaya. Those 4 kings that was brought up with him, Lysimachus. He was in charge of Asia Minor. We got Cassander, which was one of his best friends, was in control of Greece. We got Ptolemy, who was in control of Egypt. And then we have Seleucus, which was in control of the Indus River, like Persia, all the way over. Read on up.
Verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then he died.
So he died. Read on up.
And his servants bare rule, every one in his place.
Read on up.
And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
So those 4 kings put crowns upon themselves, and they divided up his territory amongst themselves. Read on up.
So did their sons after them many years.
Uh-huh.
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
Did anybody catch that last part? And evils were multiplied in the earth. Just think about it. It was already evil in the world. But when they took control of the world, no, this is real evil right here. Yeah. This is a whole nother level type of evil, man. So this is why the Protestant and Christian church had the Maccabees taken out of the Bible, because it identifies who's in rulership now, if you can put the correlation together. Read that again.
And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth.
Evils, man. Read on up.
And there came out of them a wicked root.
A what?
A wicked root.
Now, even up out of that evilness is one really wicked root. And that's how the Bible describes a wicked root. Read on up.
Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome.
Hold up right there. It says a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes. Does anybody know what the word Epiphanes mean? It means God manifested. God manifested on earth. So guess what? To a degree, they understood their part. They knew that when the Greeks or the Israelites went off, that the Most High God used the other nations to punish us. But guess what? They took it too far. And that's what the Most High God is saying, a really wicked root. So we're going to read about this wicked root. Read on up.
And he reigned in the 137 years of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Read on up.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
So we always had wicked men within our nation of people, man. People that just, guess what, have low self-esteem, that suffer from Stockholm syndrome. like we say, with some of the sisters not loving their beautiful wool hair, not hating their skin, hating that the way the Most High God made them. And guess what? To an extent, we understand that, guess what? Nobody wants to play for the losing team. As a nation of people, our people are on the bottom of society, and they see Esau ruling the planet Earth. So guess what? They want to be on the team that's winning, you know? But guess what? In the end, we are the team that's going to win it all, man. You know, the Chicago Bulls ain't got nothing on this dynasty that's finna pop up, man. You know, read on, huh?
Who persuaded many.
Who did what?
Who persuaded many.
Read on, huh?
Saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
So it was always wicked men out of Israel that tried to gather some of the brothers and sisters to be in league with the other nations, man. You see them today. Creflo Holler, T.D. Snakes, Ricky Gay Rush. You see all these pastors they put on a platform to, guess what, keep our people in Christianity. Juanita Bonham, knowing dang on well she has no business leading a congregation. You know, like we say, go to the New Testament and show me that, sister. They don't get no more New Testament than 1 Timothy.
That's right.
You know, that was in the Old Testament, sister. That's all over the Bible, man. You know, sisters should not be doing that. It's things that sisters can teach sisters on how to what? Love their husbands, on how to raise their children. But as far as going through the scriptures and exalting themselves over a congregation, women should not be doing that. You know, it's a difference between sisters letting people know about the truth than, hey, brother, this the precept to that precept right there. No.
And even, read that over again.
Verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many.
Just even when we go out on the street and you see people coming up, man, don't listen to them niggas.
Yeah.
They do the same thing, man. Look here. They just come in different forms, man. He just, guess what? T.D. Jakes just making money off of it, and that dude ain't making no money off of it. He probably down there begging, probably. But the thing is, you know, they come in different forms, but they still persuade you. No, that ain't the way.
That's
what
right.
we doing is the way. Them niggas right there, they gonna get dealt with. See, but the Most High is the rule of all things, man.
That's right.
And he got to run the show the way he say run the show.
Give me a precept today. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15. Because we have always had wicked men and wicked sisters in the nation of Israel. You know, but brothers got to stay the course. You got to keep these commandments, do thus saith the Lord. You cannot be wavered in this truth, man. Your mama, your family, your father, your sons, your children, they'll try to keep you away from this truth. But guess what? You have to stand firm on these laws, statutes, and commandments. There's no way around that. Read that. Start at verse 14, Officer Yard.
Isaiah 28:14. Wherefore, hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men, that rule this people, which is in Jerusalem.
Ye scornful, ye wicked men. Read on, now.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death.
Read that again, now.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death.
Guess what? When our people go to the other nations and make a covenant with them, Isaiah was telling us that, guess what? We making a covenant with death, man. And it goes back to the law. Let's get there. We're going to be precepting all day. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Because this is a law that we should not be doing. Like we said, we got to filter everything through the laws of the Bible. You know, that's what makes us a righteous nation versus a sinful nation. When you get there, read that out.
Deuteronomy 7:3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his
Now
daughter.
jump up to verse 2, Salaki.
Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them.
Shall what?
Thou shalt smite them,
Uh-huh.
and utterly destroy them.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
So the Most High God commanded us that we should not make no covenant with the other nations. A covenant is going into an agreement, a contract, or being in league or amity with the other nation. The Bible just said don't do that. Because guess what? Eventually, their philosophies, their politics, their religion will start to seep in and sow doubts in your mind about this truth. Well, them brothers really be out there preaching hate. You know, I don't know. You know, that's a cult. You know, it's like, show us anything that we done did wrong. You know, we ain't terrorized nobody. All we doing is telling our people to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. The same Bible that y'all reading, but y'all just not applying to your life. Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 15.
Isaiah 28:15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us.
Read on now.
For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
So we have had wicked men, like you say, even during the time Isaiah was prophesying in the Assyrian captivity. That was about 721 BC. So we know that the Greek captivity came in 333 BC. So from BC it starts to tick down. So that's 400 years later almost. You know, so this is how we knew this, because they was doing that way back then, being wicked. Let's go back to First Maccabees.
And matter of fact, and even going further than that, when you go into the history of Adam and Eve, that's going even from the beginning. That's how a lot of people did, man. From the beginning, wicked men did the same thing, man. Go off, bring them back. Go off again, bring them back. That's why we keep going into captivity, man.
That's right. Read verse 11 again now.
First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11.
Hold up, brothers and sisters, we ain't going too fast, so y'all good? Because y'all know how brothers can get up here in the spirit, just, hey, but we'll be mindful of that thing, especially with new brothers and sisters. Read that out.
First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
So since we don't have a white man to govern us, man, I don't want to do this, man. You know, we can't be nothing without the so-called other nations not controlling us. You know, when we the strongest, the smartest, the most spiritual people on the planet. It's nothing us as a nation of people cannot do if we got the Most High behind us, man. We just have to put that back into brothers and sisters' spirit, man. We got to shake that low self-esteem and put on righteousness, man. Put back on our glory, man. Read on out.
So this device pleased them well.
So, like I said, this was a device, a tactic. Read on out.
Then certain of the people were so forward hearing that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
Not only that, they went and got permissions to make these things laws that they follow the heathens, man. Went to the other nations, went to the Greeks, because this is what this is going into. Read on up.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise.
They built a what?
They built a place of exercise.
Read on up.
At Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
Now, what is a place of exercise? What do we call it today? Sports book. Make it plain. What you got on, Brother Amar?
Gym.
A gym. You know, they want to go in there, pump weights. Come on, man. We naturally, physically superior than all nations on the planet. What we need to do that for, man? You know, oh, look at the shoulders, man. I mean, come on, man. You know, people want to go in there and pump iron. This is where your Olympics come from and all these different type of stuff. You know, we never did sports as a nation of people because we know we dominate everything anyway. Just look at that. Like even like Oxay said that one thing, we had a sport called pushing the rock around the corner.
Yeah, we'll beat them in there too.
You know, it just don't make no sense for us to even stoop to their level and do these things. But now they do it to mock us, and they use us to entertain them. That's all that it is.
Gladiators.
Exactly. The gladiators. Because during this time, I'm glad that I brought that up. That was us. That was the gladiators in Rome, fighting bears. They will have you fight a bear with nothing but a little bitty shank that they make up in prison, man. Come on, man. That's losing odds every single time. So these things were never our custom. Read on up.
And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant.
Another tradition, according to our laws, is that we have to sacrifice the males after the 8th day. So guess what? They had, I ain't going to even say that. We got young people up in there. But brothers and sisters, y'all know. Read on up.
And joined themselves to the heathen.
And did what?
And joined themselves to the heathen.
And joined themselves to the heathen. Wanted to be just like them. Read on up.
And were sold to do mischief.
Read on up.
Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of 2 realms.
So this is showing you how wicked this devil was. Not only did he want his realm, but he wanted his other brother's realm as well. So that's why I said evils was multiplied in the earth. Because guess what? It was always one Edomite that want to take over everything, man. Everything. Sooner or later, the Most High broke those discords, man. They no longer ruled evenly. They wanted one to have it all. Read on up.
Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen, and a great navy.
And they what?
And a great navy.
Because during this time, did y'all remember who was ruling, who got control over Egypt? Ptolemy. Read on now.
And made war against Ptolemy,
And
made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt.
Read on now.
But Ptolemy was afraid of him.
He was scared. Read on now.
And fled, and many were wounded to death.
Read on now.
Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof.
So he robbed not only us, but he also robbed Egypt as well, man. Read on now.
And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude.
So now, like I say, he coming against Jerusalem. And this is where we get into the part where they come up against Jerusalem and going into how they defiled the sanctuary. Read on up.
And entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar.
Took away the what?
The golden altar.
Read on up.
And the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof.
What is the candlestick of light? The what? What do we always wear on the back of our clothes? The manure. That's the candlestick of light. Remember, this is the same temple that Solomon made. So you know that thing was beautiful, man. Even when you read up, it describes how he made it. Like when you get to 1 Kings, 2 Kings, and 1 Samuel. Read that history, man. It tells you how beautiful it was. All the gold that it was overlaid with. The Greeks went in there and took all that, man. Robbed our temple. Read on now.
And the table of the shewbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crowns, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off.
So he took all those things. Jump up to verse 29.
Verse 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah.
So he sent somebody, hey, go and get my money from them, man. So he going to the cities of Judah, going to Jerusalem. Hey, y'all got my money that y'all owe me? Y'all know y'all on the payment. Y'all know y'all got to pay taxes. Read on out.
Who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
So not only did he come, he came with a great army, man. Make sure he was going to get that money up out of our people. Read on out.
And spake peaceable words unto them.
So even like they do today, they don't even ask you no more. They just pull it right out of your check before you even see your money. You know, it's the same tactics today. You know, read on out.
But all was deceit.
But all was what?
But all was deceit.
So they came, read verse 30 again.
And spake peaceable words unto them, but all were deceit.
Hey, y'all know y'all that money y'all gotta pay. But it says that all was deceit, man. Give me Psalms 55 and 21.
That's right.
There's a precept for that. Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21.
Psalms 51, 20.
20.
Yeah, start at 20.
Psalms 55 and 20. He had to put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Just like the Indians, you know, even like what we reading about in the Maccabees. Read on out.
He had broken his covenant.
He had did what?
Broken his covenant.
That's why the Most High God, going back to Deuteronomy 7 and 2, don't make no covenant with them because they gonna break it. I know the people that I made. Y'all don't know them. Y'all know them through the scriptures, but you really don't know them like I know them. Read on out.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
They speak smooth words, man. Read on out.
But war was in his heart.
Like you say, brother, I love you. Just like Officer Yara was saying, I don't hate you, brother. But then secretly behind his back, he got a knife. Or secretly trying to teach our people Christianity. Or won't consent that, guess what? Christ is a so-called black man according to the Bible. That's how they speak peaceable words. Read on out.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
So they'll speak soft words, but behind their back, they got swords drawn. Let's go back. You got some out? Go ahead.
Verse 23 of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1. He took, now we started
Verse 30.
Verse 30, Shalak. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sore.
So guess what? When he believed his words, what happened to him? Read that again now.
For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel.
But since they broke that commandment, Deuteronomy 7:2, guess what happened to them? Our people got put to death, man, for trying to make a covenant or believe in them, man. And the Most High said, do not believe them. Make no covenant. Never trust thine enemy, man. For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Because like you say, it may not be at that right point in time, but over a period of time, iron rusts. In a period of time, he sowed doubt. And then when he done sowed the ultimate doubt, he come in for the kill, man. We have to watch these things. Read on up.
He fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire, and pulled down the houses.
Read that again, huh?
And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire.
Just like the KKK, when they would come and terrorize our people during 100 years of lynching, what would they also do? Burn a cross in their yard, burn the house down,
Burn churches.
burn churches. You know, even with Black Wall Street, what do? They burned the whole town down, man. This is the same characteristics that's in the Bible, man. Read on up.
He set it on fire, and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive, and possessed the cattle.
Because guess what? They would always take our people into slavery, man, to sell them. So this is them destroying our people. Verse 33,
Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall.
Anybody know what is the city of David? Anybody know? Any brothers know? What's the city of David? What you got, Shaya? Yeah. Give me Luke chapter 2 and verse 4 right quick. Yeah, because even when you read it, it's kind of, it go according the same. We'll pull another one too. Yeah, Luke chapter 2 and verse 4.
The book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 4. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem.
Which is called what?
Bethlehem.
So Bethlehem is the city of David, but guess what? Though they are coincided with each other, give me 1 Chronicles chapter 11 and verse 4. So y'all write that precept, 1 Chronicles 11 and 4, and then when we go there, put the opposite in Luke.
The book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 11, verse 4. And David and all Israel went to Jerusalem, which is Jebus, where the Jebusites were, the inhabitants of the land.
Because we hear this notion out here that we Canaanites, but we got to understand that's where that word come from the Jebusites. They were Canaanites, the children of Ham, but guess what? The Most High God had always promised us that land. So they was just renting that land for a time purpose until the real owners came here, and now it's time for y'all to go. Y'all either gonna pay us taxes, y'all got to get the heck on, man. This is our land. God ordained that thing, man. Read on up.
Verse 5. And the inhabitants of Jebus said to David, Thou shalt not come hither. Nevertheless, David took the castle of Zion, which is the city of David.
So guess what? They synonymous with each other because they all around that realm. Jerusalem and Bethlehem is not far of a walk apart from each other. So they're all synonymous. Let's go back to 1 Maccabees.
Suburban area.
Exactly.
Metroplex.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Suburban areas like we have Dallas, but we have Cedar Hill, we have DeSoto, we have Lancaster.
Yeah, the Metroplex.
1 Maccabees 1 and 33. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them.
So guess what? Not only did they take over the city of David, they made it a stronghold. Read on up.
And they put therein a sinful nation.
A what?
And they put therein a sinful nation.
So Esau dwelt in the city of David. Read on up.
Wicked men.
Did what?
Wicked men.
Read on up.
And fortified themselves therein.
Read on up.
They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there. and so they became a sore snare.
So guess what? A snare is a trap. So they laid those things in there for a trap because they knew our people. Victuals is also going into victuals, your food. Read on out.
For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel.
So guess what? They laid it as a trap for our people that would come up in there, so they could kill them off. They was trying to put us out of there, man.
Matter of fact, let's get a precept. Psalm chapter 64, verse 3, right quick. Matter of fact, jump down to verse 4. Psalm 64 and 4. Read that out.
Book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Because they shooting at the secret at the perfect. That's us, man. We God's chosen people. He made us perfect, man. And when we come back to our glory, we'll be right back in perfection again. Read on out.
Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
Because they shoot at us right now. Guess what? They oppress us right now. They don't fear about oppressing us. They don't fear about the judgment coming behind the oppressor. Read.
They encourage themselves in an evil manner.
Because all of this right here is going into what Benaniah is breaking down in Maccabees. Guess what? He breaking down that all these is going to the evil matter with what they doing. Read.
They commune of laying snares privily.
Because they lay secret snares for us. Read.
They say, who shall see them?
Now they say, who shall see us laying these snares? Because that's what they set up. They set up, guess what? They set up all these different things to get us into, first and foremost, sin. Mm-hmm. All that goes behind sin. So when they go to sin, oppression comes.
Chapter and verse.
Psalm 64, verse 4. We on verse 5 right now. Read verse 6. We can give it back up.
7 and 8.
No, just verse 6.
They search out iniquities.
Mm-hmm.
They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep.
Both the inward thoughts of all of them is deep, man. So what they was doing, guess what? They had when they came in, they already had the game plan down. They laid it down on us, man. Mm-hmm. And they was setting traps and snares for us, man. Guess what? So they can go ahead and take over this nation, man. But when they were going from nation to nation and taking over, they weren't playing no game. They already had the game plan down, man.
That's right.
Let me bring out another one on that.
Go ahead.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. So these people sit up here and they really plot. They'd take years to put their plan down if it take that. But they devise this iniquity on their beds and they practice it in the morning.
That's right.
We don't wake up doing that stuff. But our people don't realize that people is actually plotting on us every day on how they can take us down. And we just try to live life. But the Bible warns us of this thing, man, and history proved that.
That's exactly right, man. Good point. Let's go back to 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 37. We're going to skip around a lot. We're just going to get to the main points to kind of get the timeline. Read that up.
1 Maccabees 1 and 37. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it.
Because guess what? Believe it or not, it was still Israelites that was there that was trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But during this time, since our forefathers, it was already prophesied, if they broke the commandments, shoot, we always going to suffer for that thing, man. And that's what we tell brothers and sisters today. Keep the commandments because you never know how the Most High bring judgment on you. He may bring it through your wife. He may bring it on you. But he also may bring judgment on you through your children. So this is no games to be played when you're playing with the power. Because he opened up his armory, like we read in Chronicles, where he up there counseling amongst the angels. What can I do to jack him up? What's really going to hurt him to get him to wake up to this truth? To get him to repent. So we can't play the games with the Most High God, man. Read on up.
And so much that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them.
Jump down to verse 39.
Verse 39. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, and her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt.
So they came in there and defiled the temple, man, destroyed it. Like it's saying, they had no more glorious Sabbaths, no more feast days. Read on up.
And had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased,
Uh-huh.
and her excellency was turned into mourning.
Just imagine some nation, like they already did, come in here and just overthrow us and tell us not to keep God's laws like they had been doing. But even right this minute, we'll be mourning, man. It'll be a sadful thing that we can't worship our God and keep the commandments like how we're commanded. Read on up.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
So this is the precept that we always pull for what? Galatians chapter 3, verse 28. So y'all write that down because that's what Christians love to pull. Galatians 3 and 28. For there is neither Jew nor Greek. I love what the brothers always say. Well, why did it say there is neither Jew nor Chinese? Or neither Jew nor Japanese? They saying that because it's reverting back to this captivity, which they took out of the Bible. Because guess what? The book of Malachi ended in what captivity? Do anybody know? The Persian and Mede captivity. So what captivity do the book of Matthew start in? Roman. So where's the Greek captivity? Now y'all see why they took it out. Y'all see that thing? You see it, Brother King? Go ahead. What you think?
I'm just still thinking about what you said.
Which part?
Actually, I'm kind of behind because I was writing some stuff too.
What you behind on?
I don't know.
we want to make sure everybody's getting this understanding. What you got, Brother
I gotta
Shaya?
go back and look at the video.
Okay, what you
I
got?
don't want to hold up
Galatians? What was it?
Galatians 3 and 28. That's the precept for that. Y'all can also put 2 Maccabees 6 and 6 right there too.
And during this Hellenistic period at this time, you had Ptolemy, you had Antiochus at the time, and they were warring each other, trying to take over because of the riches. And our people was taking on Antiochus' side because of the fact of the matter, Ptolemy ruled with an iron hand and taxed a whole lot, very heavy taxes on them. So when this war was going on, our people was joined up to Antiochus when we was cheering for Antiochus and helping him out. So when he came about and he took over and beat Ptolemy, it was an easy conversion when he came out and said, let's all be one. Because when Ptolemy was there, he was like, nah, y'all separate and y'all gonna pay more and do more work. So we was cheering, just like we do now, cheer for.
And you know what? The history always, man, if you watch history, it repeats itself. Just like we was in hardcore slavery here in America. Guess what? The yoke he took us out the cotton field and they put the big heavy equipment in the cotton field and let that do the job. But guess what? Now we already destroyed now. So guess what? We all one in Christ Jesus. That's what now they tell now modern day pastors to teach that thing. The same old thing, man. They keep on repeating the same thing.
I'm gonna read y'all a little something out of this Holman Bible Atlas right here. I don't know if y'all get that or whatever right here. But it says Antiochus' third victory in 200 BC.
Go ahead, we laugh.
Antiochus' third victory in 200 BC over Ptolemy caused most Jews to rejoice. The Jews were weary of the heavy taxes and oppressive bureaucracy of Ptolemy. Antiochus rewarded their loyalty by granting the Jews the right to ancient traditions. He remitted several taxes and assisted in repair of Jerusalem temple, evidently damaged in recent fighting. The early years of Seleucid rule over Palestine were peaceful and prosperous. At this time, like I said, he was making it like they was nice to us. And we fell for their niceness, and then they came back and started making new rules. Y'all can't do that anymore. Y'all can't do that now. Y'all can't do that now. You know that's how they do. They always get us, just like America does, get us with niceness and stabbing us in the back.
Let's go back. First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41. You got something?
Yeah.
What you got?
Back where it talked about they set snares for us, that reminds me back the same way that they do in the neighborhoods and stuff, come bring the guns, the drugs and all that stuff and set us up even to this day.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And as well as using pastors and stuff, like I think like 2 Peter's, like I said, 2 Peter's about how they stay up all times of night. Finding ways to make commodity out of us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So,
All those traps. Just think about the liquor stores that's on the corners. You know, all the fast food places that sell what? Nothing but pork. All the catfish places that sell nothing but unclean food. All these things are snares for us. Let's go back. First Maccabees 1:41.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. And everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Because according to the Bible, is the Bible about democracy? No, it is not. Is the Bible about politics? No, it is not. It is a one rulership kingdom. The Most High God say, and we do. So this is what America done pushed on us: politics, religion, theology, all these different type of things, democracy. You know, and that was never our custom. Read on up.
Yeah, verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Did what?
Consented to his religion.
Read on up.
And sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
So guess what? They had our people breaking God's laws because they was getting put to death. You know, now you can argue in this situation, we already know. Guess what? Out of breaking God's laws, statutes, and commandments, guess what? Kill me now. You know, because guess what? You're going to get put to death anyway, man. But we know that the Most High God will raise us back up anyway, man. So we have joy in taking death for the Most High, man. Just knowing we're going to be raised back up. Jump down to verse 46.
Verse 46. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
So guess what? They polluted our people and the sanctuary because they had us breaking God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Read on up.
Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh.
In the temple in Solomon, just imagine this beautiful temple, and they in there desecrating our temple, sacrificing pork up on the altars, man. Where Moses then was, man. Come on, man. That was an abomination, man. Read on up.
An unclean beast.
Now let's jump over to verse 2, chapter 2.
Chapter 2 of First Maccabees. In those days rose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joram, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Moses.
So what tribe was Mattathias from? Do anybody know? Read it again. It was a key word in there y'all should have seen. Read that again from one.
In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joram.
What you got, Junior? What you got, Brother Steph? What you got, Levi. Because the key word is what? Priests. Who were the priests? The Levites. So this lets you know Mattathias was out of the lineage of Levi. And you know how them Haitians can be now. It all makes sense when you see Judas Maccabees come through with machetes and swords. You know, these brothers weren't playing no games, man.
And they still like the machetes.
Yeah, they sure do. They sure do. Read on up.
And he had 5 sons. Jonan, called Cadus. Simon, called Thassi. Judas, who was called Maccabeus.
The hammer. You know, Judas Maccabees didn't play, man. You know, this brother rose up when he seen our people in the decayed state, and hey, he was about that business, man. He's about that life, man. You have to get it in the grain with him, man. You know, I don't know, Brother Nathan, y'all, boy. What you gonna do, boy? Read on,
Eleazar, called Avarin, and Jonathan, whose surname was Aphus.
Read on, now.
And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, woe is me.
He said what?
Woe is me.
He said destruction is me, because he seen our people destroyed, man. We God's chosen people, and we on the bottom getting treated like this, man. You know, this thing hurt, man. Read on up.
Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people?
And that's what woke me up to the truth. Because I'm just thinking about like, dang, man, how can we be this great of a nation of people, but we on the bottom? I just put it on my spirit just like to just think about this thing. How can we be the smartest, the strongest, the fastest, but we always in the bottom of society and everything, man?
That's right.
Like when you go back to all the inventions, it's the black people at the head of that thing. Right. So-called Native Americans and Hispanics too, man. We like, man, we the hardest workers out there, man, but we on the bottom, man. It's just like, something ain't right, man. Read on up.
And of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers.
And our sanctuary got turned to strangers, man. Read on up.
Her temple is become as a man without glory.
Without what?
Without glory.
Read on up.
Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity.
Read on up.
Her infants are slain in the streets.
Don't that sound very familiar? Don't our infants get killed in the streets? Tamir Rice, man. It's the same thing, man. It's nothing new under the sun. Read on up.
Her young men with the sword of the enemy. What nation had not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoil?
Now, y'all know, everybody should know what precept that is. What precept is that?
Psalm 83.
All praise, I get in the spirit on that thing. Y'all write that thing down, man. All nations had a part in our destruction, man. So guess what? All nations got to pay for that thing, man. But Esau, Most High gonna fill up cup double, man. Double up on that thing. Double up on that shot, man. Because they gonna drink it all, man. No, I'll take a little bit of sip, but I can't. Esau, you gonna drink all that thing, man, for the destruction you did to us, man. Jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory is laid waste.
Is laid what?
Is laid waste.
Read on now.
And the Gentiles have profaned it.
And the Gentiles have profaned it. These are the real Gentiles, man. What is the definition of the word Gentile? Anybody know? Brother Abayi, what's the definition of the word Gentile?
Let me make sure I get it right. The term usually mean a non-Israelite person.
And that's the first word, like Officer Yara said. We always want to hear that first word. Usually, it means a non-Israelite people. So, on occasions, depending on the context, it can mean a real Israelite in a Gentile state of mind.
It also means stranger.
Yes.
Strangers.
Mm-hmm. And another one too, even when we read Hellenist, when we go into the Zondervan, it means Jews who made Greek their tongue, and with it often adopted Greek ideas and practices. Just like our people think that they are Americans, because they're in an American state of mind. Worshiping Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving.
That's right.
These things put us in a Gentile state of mind. Jump down to.
Let me back
Yeah,
up.
go ahead.
Because there's some great information in this book. Another reason why they took stuff out. I want to go to 2 Maccabees. Just show y'all something real quick. 2 Maccabees, chapter 12. No, 1 Maccabees, chapter 12, verse 21. Like the ox said, brought our Hellenists. We're going to show you some Hellenized Jews that was in Greece. And it's in the Bible. Right here is talking about the Lesopotamians, right? If you put up Lesopotamians in your Google, it's going to show you Sparta was the capital city. So who do they display the Spartans as, Shana? When you seen the movie, who they
We
had
are
playing?
Sparta. You don't know that?
The 300.
The 300.
Shaya, who they displayed as
They
Spartans?
display them as Grecians or white folks.
As white folks, right? Let's see what the Bible said. You got that out?
12 and 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is 1 Maccabees 12 and 21. It is found in writing that the Lacedaemonians and Jews are brethren.
They are what?
Are brethren.
Read on.
And that they are of the stock of Abraham.
The Lesopotamians, which are the Spartans, which were the 300, were Jews. They are brethren. That's why they wrote letters to them, bringing back that alliance that they had. You know, but they displaying them as Edomites. So the Bible tells us otherwise, right? Right. So those are Hellenistic Israelites that was living in Greece. That's all I got.
Laodiceans.
Lacedaemonians.
Lacedaemonians. Well, like I said, yeah, that word. First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 19.
1 Maccabees 2 and 19. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him.
Do what?
though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him,
Uh-huh.
and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandment.
Read on now.
Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our father.
So guess what? That's heavy. Mattathias stood up, man, being a priest of the Most High God, man. You know, it's his office to do the sacrifices in the sanctuary, man. So you could just imagine his spirit was flexed, boy. You know, and he telling them, y'all can follow these nations, but me and my sons, guess what? We're going to walk in the commandments of our forefathers, man. Read on now.
Verse 21, God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinance.
Read on now.
We will not hearken.
For real.
That
Yeah.
part again.
Read that again.
God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinance.
So our people take it as a light thing when we talking about you ain't supposed to eat pork. Well, that ain't nothing, it's just meat. We went to war about this thing, man.
That's right.
We went to war to not make those unclean sacrifices to them devils.
That's right,
And
man.
our people think that is a light thing. It is not a light thing.
And just even going into wearing fringes, that was an ordinance.
That is, man.
So guess what? They fought for every single detail of what God displayed, man.
Because like we tell brothers, I'm glad that you said that. Wearing your fringes, that is that is very important, brothers and sisters. You may never know who may see that thing and it may just instantly flip the switch to them to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Well, dang, brother, then to get in this truth. So we have to let our light shine, man. Let our light shine so that the whole world can see, man. We're trying to get the hell up out of here, man. That's real talk. So always wear your fringes, man. You know, you don't want to be caught, out there in the streets of Christ come back, boy. You live out there naked, yeah.
And furthermore, I'm gonna tell you, even on a smaller scale, you see one of the brothers and sisters in the congregation, "Shalom, brother." You walk up on him, he ain't got his fringe on. You like,
Yeah, for real. That's a
"Dang,
heavy
brother."
thing, man.
You know, but guess what? The brother be looking, he be shamed in the mud.
Yeah.
Man. We have seen that, but guess what? It's been a long time ago. But we have, you walk up on brothers, they ain't got their, or sisters, they ain't got their fringes on.
You get that look like, what you say? Like I said, this is a big thing because some of our ancestors chose to die.
Yeah.
Rather than eat pork, man. Rather than eat somebody's flesh, man. So that's very heavy, man. People say, "Oh, they ain't gonna kill me." Well, okay, it won't. Most I probably will. I'm guaranteed.
Because it's all about upholding your heritage, man.
That's right.
This is our heritage. This ain't nobody else's heritage. And we go, like the Lord said, don't give away things that are profitable unto anybody else. This is our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in the sight of the nations. This is our heritage. And if we don't do it, that's how we end up losing our language. That's how we end up losing our land. That's how we end up losing our whole culture.
Yep.
Because we study dropping off, well, I'm going to do what they doing. And then another brother say, I'm going to do what they doing. And if we keep doing that, then we back in the situation that we was in.
Mm-hmm. Let's read on now.
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left.
Read on now.
Now when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar, which was at Moses,
A suburb around Jerusalem. Read on now.
according to the king's commandment.
So he was doing as the king commandment was. Let's see what happened to him. Read on now.
Which thing when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled. Neither could he forbear to shew his anger according to the judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
So guess what? This thing got real deal Holyfield, man. Mattathias was inflamed. He seen that brother sacrificing that swine on that altar because he know that was his administration. He took him and slaughtered him on the altar, man. Killed him, man. And even when he go back, it tells you neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment. Because guess what? You have to forgive your brother on certain trespasses, man. You know? So he couldn't help himself, man. You know? That's the zeal that he had for the Most High God, man.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Nehemiah brought a point up. There was probably about a month or so back. The only reason why people getting away, our people, is Israel is getting away with not wearing their fringes, not growing their beards, our sisters wearing pants, all this different. The only reason why they reason why they getting away with that, because we not in our homeland. we not back in our glory. Because we was back in our glory, and you see somebody walk through here out of order, you see a homosexual son walk through here, guess what? Homeboy, we finna have to see about you. That's how that thing work. Because guess what? You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that in the kingdom. You're not gonna be walking around no homosexual in the kingdom. Guess what? You're not gonna be walking around with your pants off your butt. You're not gonna be walking around without no beard on. It's gonna be order in this thing, man. Then the Most High gonna set that thing back right. He's gonna be straight, man. That's the only reason why they getting away with it.
And you know why that is, man? Because guess what? If you leave that stuff unchecked, it'll grow like a disease, man. Brothers see it, or sisters see it, then they want to do it. You know that old term, monkey see, monkey do. We have a whole bunch of monkeys around in the kingdom, man.
Negro see, Negro do.
That too. Let's go back, man. Because we got to skip around. When y'all had a chance, y'all read this thing, man. I'll be up reading this thing over and over again, man. Because, shoot, Maccabees get you pumped, man. You know, because he was a brother of the brothers, man. You can just imagine Maccabees, man. He probably bigger than this Maccabees over here, man. Come through with a swizzle, boy, you don't see no part of that thing, boy. Just imagine him, headband, arm guards on, with his garment on. Woo, say. I got to go, man. You want some of this, old man? No. You're like, no. Read this, yeah, we're going to skip, because I want to cover a lot of stuff. Jump over to, because I want to cover this in chapter 2. Give me chapter 2 and verse 45. Got to, I know you want to read some more. I do too, we got to cut it, man. Read 45, man.
First Maccabees 2 and 45. Then Mattathias and his friend went round about and pulled down the altars. And what children soever they found within the coast of Israel uncircumcised, those they circumcised valiantly.
So guess what? They started to take their temple back, man. Mattathias rose up with his sons like, hey, man, we finna put this thing back in order, man. And that's what we commanded to do. Give me Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 4. I know, man. We can read these things all day, man.
Because there's so much detail into these chapters, man. So like I say, man, look, really go back and read these chapters, man, because the detail goes real strong and heavy to like it really got a strong content in it.
Read that out.
Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7.
Salakia, 44 and 7. Salakia, brothers and sisters.
Isaiah 44 and 7. And who, as I, shall call and shall declare it, and set it in order for me.
Do what?
And set it in order for me.
So guess what, man? Maccabees was setting things back in order, man, for Christ, for the Most High. And that's what we commanded to do, brothers, when we out there teaching our people the law, statutes, and commandments to set things back in order, man. Read that again,
And who, as I, shall call and shall declare it.
And shall what?
And shall declare
we
it.
We declare when we reading these scriptures, man, because the Spirit bears witness with our spirit. Read on up.
And set it in order for me.
Read on up.
Since I appointed the ancient people, and the things that are coming and shall come, let them show unto them.
And guess what? We prophesied and showing them what's the things to come, man. Nuclear thermal destruction is coming to America. We know it because we read it in the Bible, man. Let's go back to First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 48.
Maccabees, First Maccabees 2 and 48.
Read verse 47 now.
47. First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 47.
We'll be covering First Maccabees chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to try to cover through that. Read on up.
Verse 47. They pursued also after the proud men, and the work prospered in the land.
Because when we start back rising up, keeping the commandments, guess what? The Most High will prosper that thing, man. We can see it now, man, brothers and sisters in here, man. Think it's filled to the thing. We still don't have a lot of brothers and sisters here, man. You know, gathering, putting things back in order for the feast, man. We had a lot of people at the Feast of Tabernacle, and that's what we tell brothers online. We have a lot of brothers and sisters that's not in Dallas with us, man. Brothers in Florida, brothers in Mississippi, brothers in Alabama, brothers up there in Michigan, brothers in California. You know, our phone, I'm constantly on the phone with brothers and sisters as well, these brothers too. That too, read on.
Verse 48. So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles and out of the hand of kings. Neither suffered they the sinner to triumph.
Read on,
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Read that part again,
So they recovered the law out of the hand they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles.
That's what we doing right now.
That's right.
We recovering the law out of the hands of the Gentiles. They've been teaching what this Bible say and not teaching nothing that it say. So now we taking the law back and teaching it how it's supposed to be taught. Thus
That's
saith
right.
the Lord. We just repeating history all over again.
Jump down to 51,
Verse 51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall you receive great honor and an everlasting name.
That goes into, guess what? Romans chapter 15, verse 34. Go back to our forefathers, search our forefathers, even Deuteronomy 32 and 7.
Matter of fact, jump over verse 50 right quick.
Yeah.
Verse 50. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your father.
And give your lives. Guess what, man? We got to make our body right now a living sacrifice, man.
Romans 12.
We got to make our body a living sacrifice, man. And that's the same thing Methodist was trying to display with his children, man. That's why our sons was going to their fathers, man, their forefathers, and their direct earthly father too. Go ahead,
Now, read verse 51 again.
51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall you receive great honor and an everlasting name.
Now jump down to verse 63. Because even when you read from 52 all the way down, it's just going through righteous brothers. You got Joshua, whose name is spelled Jesus in the Greek. You got Caleb. We got David. We got Elijah. We got Daniel. We got Ananias, Azariah, Mishael. We got Zephaniah. So he's just going through the lineage of our forefathers. Go jump down to verse 64.
61.
Go ahead, Doc. I don't want to read it all. Go ahead, Doc. Read verse 61, Doc.
Verse 61. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
Oh, praise God. Read that again, man.
And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
Guess what? We may be faint, but don't waver in this truth, man. Endure to the end, because just like the scriptures say, none that put our trust totally in the Most High God will be overcome, man. You know, the Most High, he's showing this thing right now, man. Brothers and sisters going to be beautified at the Feast of the Dedication, man. That is a new thing, man. Bringing our people back up, especially when we ask them, y'all celebrating the Feast of Dedication. The Feast of what? What?
What's that?
What's that? I'm celebrating Christmas. No, sister, no, brother. We need to be celebrating this, man. Read on, Doc.
Verse 62. Fear not then the words of a sinful man.
Read that again, Doc.
Fear not then the words of a sinful man.
Don't fear the things that they may tell us out there on those streets or while y'all at y'all job. You know, we can't fear those things, because what's they in? Read on.
For his glory shall be dung and worm.
So guess what? They're going to be getting put to death, man. Read on up.
Verse 63. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found.
Guess what? Esau and the other nations is on the top right now, but tomorrow, when Christ comes, they won't be found, man. They're going to be hiding in bunkers. They're going to be doing anything to try to get away from Christ, man. Brother coming out this sky with an afro and a swizzle, dressed decked down. You can just imagine, boy. I'm talking about trying to get the H out of Dodge, man. You can just imagine when they heard when, what's the brother name that was going through Rising Up our people? Nat Turner was putting people to death. It was white men dropping dead on the spot, man, just because they knew. They know what they done to our people. They know that eventually they're going to have to pay, man. I know Brother Stephen liked that part right there. Read on, huh?
Because he has returned into his dust, and his thought is come to nothing. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant,
Yep.
and shew yourselves men in the behalf of the law.
Of the what?
In the behalf of the law.
Because we are men if we keeping the law. According to what? 1 Kings 2:2. Read on, huh?
And behold, I know that your brother Simon, is a man of counsel.
So Simon was the brains, man. He's a man of counsel. Read on, huh?
A man of counsel.
Verse 65 again.
And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always.
So guess what? That's what we here for too. Always counsel amongst brothers and sisters. The Bible says do nothing without counsel, man. Because guess what? You want to make sure that you're making the best choice according to the scriptures. If it's a matter that's too hard for you, like we got brothers and sisters that are always calling. That's what we here for, man. We are a family, man. So guess what? We want to help brothers and sisters get through situations that they may have problems with. Read on now.
He shall be a father unto you. As for Judas Maccabeus.
As for who?
As for Judas Maccabeus.
Read on now.
He hath been mighty and strong, even from his youth up.
You know, it's always that one brother in the hood that can just get down, man. Just get straight up, just squab, man. This was Judas Maccabees, man. You see him fight 3 brothers for his little brothers and sisters. Who's picking on you? I'm gonna go get my brother Judas Maccabees, man. Brothers hear that name, hey, run for the hills, man. Read on now.
Let him be your captain.
Let him be what?
Let him be your captain.
Let him be your leader. Read on now.
And fight the battle of the people.
And do what?
And fight the battle of the people.
Read on now.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people.
So guess what? Set things in order. Call brothers, call sisters that want to keep the commandments, man. Because we need our stir brothers out there on that corner, man. That's in order, man. Because that's one thing that our people fear is what? Order, man. They see brothers out there in order, man. They know, no, we ain't finna play with them brothers, man. You know, these brothers about the Most High God's business, man. Jump up to, go to chapter 3.
And look what it said. It said, take also unto you all those that observe the law. It ain't say go get everybody. That was Israelites. It said go get those that observe the law.
That's right.
So you'll have more numbers, but you'll be weaker because you got brothers that ain't trying to keep the law, but the ones that keep the law, like you said, we keep reading because Maccabees told one brother, look, I don't care if you got any doubt that we're going to lose this fight, I'm going to off you too.
Yeah, for real.
You can't even have no doubt with Judas Maccabees. He wasn't playing, man.
Yeah. Read chapter 3, verse 1.
Chapter 3, verse 1. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead.
Because when you read 70 on chapter 2, Mattathias died. So guess what? He left the lineage to his sons to raise up in their steed, to keep raising up the nation. That's what our children is for. Because like we say, with the junior ox that's in her, little sisters, they know to keep this order from childhood all the way up, to keep the fight going. If Christ, Lord forbid, don't come back in time. Read on out.
And that's what an inheritance is about. It'll make your children want to fight for it because they know they're going to get it. Mm-hmm. And that's what was going on here. They know that they had next. After their father died, he gave them what he told them what they wanted them to do. You gonna fight for that thing.
That's
Our
right.
people don't fight because ain't nothing left to them.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Ain't no inheritance for them. Ain't nothing left for them. Ain't nothing for them to look forward to. So they don't care about fighting.
And they seen how, if y'all notice about a lot of the stories in the Bible, how it's set up, that as the father get ready to die, he left things for the son to do. He gave orders, man.
That's right.
He guess what? All our forefathers, even the commandments of the commandments of the Most High God, he gave it to our forefathers, and we just sent it down the line. And that's what you should be doing now. Since we woke up, even if some of us get weak in this truth, and our health start to fall, and we get ready to die. Guess what? You should be sending commandments down to your children, to your sons, to tell them how to handle business, man. That's our custom and what we do, man. Go ahead, up.
Go ahead, Doc.
Verse 2. And all his brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father. And they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel.
The who?
The battle of Israel.
Give me the book of Sirach, because we'll just read that real quick, precept upon precept, just like Ak was coming up. Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 3, real quick. It's a couple pages over, then we'll come back.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30, verse 3. He that teaches his son grieveth the enemy.
Read that again, Ak.
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
So guess what? When you teaching your children, that grieve the enemy, because what? Read on, Ak.
And before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Read on, Ak.
Though his father died,
Just like Mattathias died. Read on, Ak.
yet he is as though he were not dead.
Read on, Ak.
For he hath left one behind him that is like himself.
So guess what? You grieve the enemy when you raising your children up in his law, statutes, and commandments, because it's like your father's still alive. Because they're going to be continuing the lineage, continuing keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
That's why they keep men out of the households right now, black men up out of the households right now, to make sure that goes on. And it won't be that chance to make that hand down information. And then that same, I mean, like even when a man and woman get a divorce, They don't even consider the man having the children, period. Even though he might be best suited for the children. But the first thing they're going to do, oh, that's a woman child. No, that's the man's seed. So it's literally his child. And they need to take responsibility. That's one thing we got to do. Get back into responsibility and doing it so it won't be on that woman. So she won't have to be going through all those things, because we're supposed to be the ones stepping up, taking them children, and raising them like the Most High said.
Read on, huh?
First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 1 was to go back there. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead.
Read on, huh?
And all his brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father. And they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel.
The what?
The battle of Israel.
It says they fought with cheerfulness, man. Brothers wasn't sobbing, mad to go to war, man. They was ready to go to war to raise up their nation, man. Read on, huh?
So he gat his people great honor, and put on a breastplate as a giant.
As a what?
As a giant.
Read on, huh?
And girt his warlike harness about him.
Uh-huh.
And he made battles, protecting the host with his sword.
He was like, read verse 4, huh?
In his axe, he was like a lion.
Man, y'all done seen on National Geographic, man, them lions, man. Lions ain't no joke, man. It says he was like a lion, so he was ferocious out there on the battlefield. Then when you know you got the Most High behind you, boy, say, hey, boy, say, he liable to jump off a 10-story building, man. You know, I know the Lord got me, man. Come on with it. Read on, huh?
And like a lion's whelp roaring for his prey.
Read on, huh?
For he pursued the wicked and sought them out, and burnt up those that vexed his people.
Guess what? He was putting them to death that vexed his people, man. You know, guess what? That's what we out there doing, to raise up a nation of people. Give me, jump down. Give me verse 4, verse 14. I know, man. I want to read it all. Like, I know, man. I was just see me last night like that. Yeah, man. I knew I was.
Stories in the book, man.
Yeah, it do be. Give me verse 13 now.
Verse 13. Now, when Sarah, a prince of the army of Syria, heard say that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and company of the faithful to go out with him to war, he said, I will get me a name and honor in the kingdom.
So guess what? They wanted to see who could take down Judas Maccabees, man. You know, I'm going to get me a reputation. I'm going to put this Negro to death, man. Read on up.
For I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him who despise the king's commandment.
Who do what?
Despise the king's commandment.
Read on up.
So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him and to be avenged of the children of Israel.
Read on up.
And when he came near to the going up of Betharon, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company.
So guess what? Judas had a small company. But the other nations, guess what? They had a large army, man. Read on up.
Who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, and unto Judas, how shall we be able?
Read that again up, verse 17.
Who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all the day?
Did y'all catch that, man? Not only was they finna get ready to go to war, they was doing what? Fasting, man. So this is the power of the Most High God, man, because if we got a greater army than them, even when we read in the books of Exodus and Judges and the war, he was telling Joshua, no, don't take too many people, because then they'll think that they did it on their own. Take with you about 100 people, and we're going to take down 10,000, man, because you know that the Most High God is behind us. Just imagine, you know, people barely up in here, I'm dying. Sister, you just started fasting 2 hours ago. How long? I'm about to die. Brother, stop it, man. Yeah, Sister Betty, stop it, sister. You can endure. Just get brothers on the phone. We go through a couple of precepts, man. Read on, up.
18. Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
Read that again,
Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
Read on,
And with the God of heaven, it is all one.
It is what?
It is all one.
Man, it is not hard for the Most High God to put a large company to the death by a few, man. That's the power of the Most High God. So when brothers even just a thought, no miracles that, read on now.
To deliver with a great multitude or a small company.
Read on now.
For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host.
But what,
But strength cometh from heaven.
But strength coming from what?
But strength cometh from heaven.
Man, I'm ready to grab me a sword right now, man. We got to calm down up here, boy. I'm talking, but we going to the Feast of Dedication to have fun, but it's like we going to war out there, man. Because we really are. It's a spiritual fight every day, man. Paul said he died daily. I know. Read, we got to jump around, man. Give me jump down to Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 43.
Verse 43. They said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people.
But jump up to verse 38, because we always want to get the context. So he put that people to death that he was fighting. Like 45,000 against them. So they steady bringing more and more people. Antiochus steady robbing the other nations to pay for wars to fight against Judas Maccabees. He was giving them hell, man. Read verse 38 out.
Then Lysias chose Ptolemy the son of
Dormenes,
and Nicanor, and Gorgias, mighty men of the king's friends.
So these is Edomites that, guess what, he's enlisted to help take care of this problem, because Judas is raising hell. Like, man, this is supposed to be a small problem, man, and I'm paying y'all top dollar. Put his butt to death, man. But they can't do it, man, because he bagged up by the Most High God. Read on.
And with them he sent forth, and with them he sent 40,000 footmen, and 7,000 horsemen, to go into the land of Judah and to destroy it, as the king commanded.
As the what?
As the king commanded.
Jump down to verse 43.
Verse 43. They said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people.
And let us what?
And let us fight for our people.
And let us what?
And let us fight for our people.
And what?
And the sanctuary.
So guess what? Maccabees, you always got to get that pep talk before you go to war, man. There's one brother out there that's firing you up, man. Like when brothers was in wicked football games, you had that one that just, hey, you ready to take down everything, man. Yeah. When brothers giving you that pep talk, and he's telling us, they said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people, man. If that don't bring you and push your spirit to do something in this truth, man, I don't know what will. Because we see our people all outside of these doors on the bottom of society. Right. Don't know who they are. Don't know what their purpose is in life, man. The Bible gives our people purpose, man.
That's right.
Read on up.
Then was the congregation gathered together, that they might be ready for battle, and that they might pray.
And that they might what?
And that they might pray.
That's what we always have to do, brothers and sisters. Pray and fast, man. Pray that the Most High gets certain spirits off, brothers, and that he put certain spirits on you. Ask for the spirit of our forefathers. Ask for the spirit of Judas Maccabees, the spirit of Samuel, the spirit of Moses, man, the spirit of Christ, man. Read on up.
And ask mercy and compassion.
Read on up.
Now Jerusalem.
And ask what?
Mercy and compassion.
And ask mercy and compassion, man. We can't never forget about those things, man, when we're in this truth. Jump down to verse 45. What you want?
No, I was just saying.
Verse what?
Go ahead.
Verse 45.
Now Jerusalem lay void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in or out. The sanctuary also was trodden down, and aliens kept the stronghold.
And who kept the stronghold?
And aliens kept the stronghold.
Now, what did I call his Mexican brothers, the Issachar? They called them aliens. But really, they are the aliens, man. Yeah. They on stolen property here, man. The Bible is repeating itself using the same words, talking the same lingo as our people do, man. Read on up.
The heathen had their habitation in that place.
Had their what?
Habitation in that place.
Read on up.
And joy was taken from Jacob.
Man, read on up.
And the pipe with the harp seized.
Read on.
Wherefore the Israelites assembled to get themselves together and came to Maspha over against Jerusalem. For in Maspha was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel.
In what?
In Maspha was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel.
Read verse 47.
Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes.
You know, you read about that all the time, putting ashes in their head. Do anybody know what that's for? That's for to humble your spirit down before the Most High God. You know, when you putting ashes upon yourself, you cannot get no more humbler than that. You know, because you making yourself, hey, Lord, I'm nothing compared to you. Everything that happened is because of you. So we want you to bless us to go to war. Like we say, bless us to get things increased. Bless us to bring the increase of a nation.
And also, when you looking at ashes, what is ashes? It's like dust, right? What the Lord made? How did the Lord make us? From the dust. We making ourselves humble as the dirt, man. We come to you as dirt, as nothing. Like I was saying, we come to you as nothing. Like when you read up verse 44, it said we prayed, but now verse 47 saying they fasted. Guess what? Those two things right there go coincide when you want seek the Most High. If you want to seek Him, you want to change things in your life, you got to pray, and then you got to fast.
That's right.
That's how you get changes to happen in your life.
Because I like what Ox said. Maybe we try to implement that too with the brothers and sisters. Us as a congregation, pick one day out of the month to fast. You can do it or you do not have to do it. It's nothing forced. But we know that you get more blessings as we fast as a nation of people together. So that's something that we putting forth to brothers and sisters. You do not have to do it. You know, there's no scripture that say, but it's better if we do it. Read that out.
Verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image.
So we know if they done changed the images of the Bible, we know that the Bible were what? The people of the book were once black.
Now what precept is that? Y'all should be coming. What precept
Y'all
is
should
that?
know that. What you got, Brother Brandon? You should know that. Basic precepts.
What is it, Junior? No.
Nah.
Job chapter 9, verse 24.
That's right. All brothers should know that thing, but we be ready to pull that thing out there and what? You say you what? The Jews is black. Get that out. We be ready to pull that thing out there on the streets. Jump down to verse 53.
Verse 53.
What verse
50. Verse 51. For thy sanctuary is trodden down and profaned, and thy priests are in heaviness and brought low.
Read on, not.
And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us to destroy us. What things they imagine against us, thou knowest.
So whatever the things that they thinking about, the Most High know their thoughts, man. Ain't nothing seeping past the Most High God. Just like ain't nobody sneaking into the kingdom, man. We got the weed and the tares on that thing. Nobody's getting up in there that ain't supposed to be in there. Read on up.
How shall we be able to stand against them, except thou, O God, be our help?
That's the only way we can bring this nation down, if the Most High God is bagging us. And guess what? For Him to bag us, we must what? Keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. That's the only way. It's no other way. Brothers, we want to be deep. Oh, well, brother, I'm thinking about the philosophies of Mayat, brother. I think we could do it through that with no, brother. We done tried that, man. That thing failed. We done tried Black Panther Party. That failed. We done tried the Million Man March 2 or 3 years. That failed, man. We got to come together up under these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. There's no other way. Give me verse 56.
Verse 56. But as for such as were building houses, or had betrothed wives, or were planting vineyards, or were fearful, those He commanded that they should return, every man to his own house, according to the law.
According to the what?
According to the law.
Give me Deuteronomy. Like we say, everything that they did, they filtered out of the Bible, because it's a law on that. Because the Most High got to give us the spirit of fear. But if it does creep up, this is what you do for brothers. Go ahead,
Deuteronomy 20:8. And the officers shall speak further.
Hold on. Y'all there? Brother, I still hear pages flipping.
Deuteronomy 20:8. Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 8. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted?
So before each war, it was always like we say, what man? Like we tell brothers, man, you ready to go to camp, man? You know, you think you're going to be out there, you're going to be in the right spirit? This the same correlation, man, because we understand all brothers are not built for camp. You know, we would like that all brothers be out there for camp. We know brothers got to get certain situations in line. I know some brothers do want to be out there, but this is the same correlation. Read that again, up.
And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted?
Read on, up.
Let him go and return into his house.
Let him do what?
Let him go and return into his house.
Read on, up.
Let his brethren's heart,
Lest
his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart.
So guess what? When that fearful spirit come up, you got to put that thing out, man, because guess what? That thing is like cancer. It'll start spread, man. So you just, brother, you'll be okay. Just go on to the house. You know, there's nothing wrong, man. Most time I put that spirit on you, man.
Yeah, and the thing is, and even in that thing, just like I said, all men may not be built to go out to the streets, guess what, to teach. But guess what? Don't disturb nobody else from going neither.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go, go in peace. He ain't say, did they say he left in an uproar? No. If you don't want to go, just take your butt home.
Yeah, that's another good point, huh? That's a real good point, man.
Yeah.
Let's go back. You got some out?
No.
Let's go back to 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 58.
Verse 58. And Judas said, arm yourselves and be valiant men.
Do what?
Arm yourselves and be valiant men.
That time they was having real actual swords. This time, what is our sword? The Bible. Arm ourselves. Then we tell brothers with the cargo pants, put that apocrypha in your cargo pants, man. That's like your Swizzle. You quick on the draw with that thing, man. You know, don't go into battle with an untested weapon. Don't be using other brothers' Bibles and apocryphas. Hey, got to go into that thing battle tested, man. Because don't nobody know your weapon like you. Read on up.
And see that ye be in readiness against the morning.
Read that again, up.
And see that ye be in readiness against the morning.
Read on up.
That ye may fight with these nations that are assembled together against us to destroy us and our sanctuary.
Because it's a fight when we go outside these doors, man. Constantly, man. A spiritual fight, man. Read on up.
For it is better for us to die in battle than to behold the calamities of our people and our sanctuary.
Man, this is the zeal that Maccabees had for his people, man. He'd rather to die than to see the state of our people, man. Especially when they know where we come from, man. Seeing our people in our glory. You know, hearing about the history of Solomon, King David, man. How David, when he was a young boy, slew an African that was 9'6". Come on, man. That's the power of our God, man. He is no joke, man.
And every kind of saying that we got, it just be so funny how they have saying. That's the Edomite thing. Somebody, give me liberty or give me death. Same thing he just said. Then he just copied just even the smallest detail of us, man.
Read verse 60 out.
Verse 60.
Patrick Henry, that's the day.
Nevertheless, as the will of God is in heaven, so let him do.
What is the will of God? Anybody got a precept real quick? What you got, Out?
Psalm 48.
All praise, Out. That's the precept for the will of God, man. All praise, brother Shaddai. You're on point, Out.
Gun.
What? Yeah, you already know, Out. Give me, read chapter, now we in chapter 4, last chapter. Give me, 4 and 1 real quick.
First Maccabees chapter 4, verse 1. Then took Gorgias 5,000 footmen and 1,000 of the best horsemen and removed out of the camp by night.
By what?
By night.
So now he done took down all the other ones. Now he facing Gorgias, you know. And he finna slay him too. Jump down to verse 8.
Verse 8.
Read verse 7. Huh?
Verse 7. And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed round about with horsemen, and these were expert of war.
When you read verse 6, I'll read it. But as soon as it was day, Judah showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their minds. So this is 5,000 versus, where was that? Versus 3,000. Read on up.
And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed round about with horsemen that were expert of war. Then said Judas to the men that were with him, Fear ye not their multitude, neither be ye afraid of their assault. Remember how...
Hold up, Bob. You know why he said it? Anybody got a precept? Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 8.
Yeah, real quick.
Right quick. Go there right quick. This is the reason why Jews Maccabees knew how our forefathers got down. He knew the order, how we did things, and he knew how the Lord set this thing up, man. So that's why he was trying to get his men together. He was trying to get his men together to let them know, hey, this is what the Lord said we're supposed to be like. Read that out right quick.
Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their face, and thy forehead strong against their forehead.
Read verse 9.
As an adamant harder. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not.
What the Bible say?
Fear them not.
He said, fear them not. Read.
Neither be dismayed at their looks.
Don't be dismayed at they look, because we know they men of war. Read on.
Though they be a rebellious house.
Go ahead.
Let's go back. First Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 8.
Verse 8. Then said Judas to the men that were with him, fear ye not their multitude, neither be ye afraid of their assault.
Read on up.
Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea.
They was what?
Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea, when Pharaoh pursued them with an army.
Guess what? The Most High split the Red Sea for our nation to pass through, man. This actually happened. Like we tell brothers, go online, y'all can see that. Y'all see the old chariot wheels. We know it's that because guess what? Nothing else grows up under the Gulf of Africa. You think that's by coincidence? The Most High God did that thing, man. All you'll see is chariot wheels turned upside down and they done been encrusted with algae. That's the only thing that grows down there. And it's littered as a trail. You'll see fever bones. You'll see horse bones, chariot wheels turned upside down. You'll see all these different type of things, man. But they won't let no one do any archaeological sites on that thing. Like we said, we know why. Read on up.
Verse 10. Now therefore let us cry to heaven, if peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us. And remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before our face this day.
Read verse 11 now.
Verse 11, so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel.
Read that again now.
That so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel.
It's only one. Like we say, we know that God is the ultimate Savior. Because brothers will take these scriptures, you see, it's only the Most High. He's the ultimate Savior. But guess what? He sends Saviors to save us. The Most High is not getting up off of his throne. Like we say, hold up, Gabriel. Hold up, Michael. Let me go down there and take care of this business right quick. Man, if the Most High got to get off his throne, man, you better be where?
This ain't the Players Club, man. I'll get it myself.
You better be where, because you're going to see something you ain't never seen before if the Most High God got to get up off his chair. He's a God. He's sending people to do his will, man. Come on, man. That's why he's sending Christ back. He's coming in the name of the Father, though. Give me verse 25.
Verse 25. Thus Israel had a great deliverance that day.
Read that again.
Thus Israel had a great deliverance that day.
Hey, they fought with them and had a great deliverance that day. So the Most High God saved them again. Jump over to verse 36.
Verse 36.
Read verse 35.
Verse 35. Now when Lysias saw his army put to flight, and the manliness of Judah's soldiers, and how they were ready either to live or die valiantly, he went into Antioch.
Man, he fled, man. It's time to go, man. These brothers done took down this great army and they didn't have but a few people. No, it's time to go. Antiochia is in what we call modern day Turkey today. Read on up.
He went into Antiochia and gathered together a company of strangers, and having made his army greater than it was, he proposed to come again into Jerusalem.
But guess what? He ready to Judea. He ready to come back again, man. They will not quit, man. You know, but guess what? We got a God that won't either, man. Read on up.
Then said Judas and his brethren, behold, our enemies are discomfited. Let us go up to cleanse and dedicate the sanctuary.
This is the part we was waiting to get for. Read that again, now.
Then said Judas and his brethren, behold, our enemies are discomfited.
They discomforted. We done pushed them back a little bit, man. Now do what? Read on.
Let us go up to cleanse and dedicate the sanctuary.
They don't push them out of the sanctuary with all the wars that they done went through. Like we said, when you get a chance, go back and read this thing in detail. You know, because they did this all the way up until this point to push them out of the sanctuary, to cleanse it, and to get back the sanctuary. Read on, now.
Upon this all, the hosts assembled themselves together and went up into Mount Zion.
Read on now.
And when they saw the sanctuary desolate, and the altar profaned, and the gates burned up.
Man, I'm talking about they seen the destruction that the Greeks had left us, man. They destroyed our temple, man. We see how they do today. Look how they do on the planet Earth, man. Destroying stuff. They live a path of destruction everywhere they go, or everywhere that they inhabit. Read on up.
Or in one of them, Salat. and shrubs growing in the courts as in a forest.
Man, guess what? It shrubs all in the court. I mean, come on, man. You know, just didn't occur, man. We don't expect them to either. Read on, huh?
Or in one of the mountains. Yea, and the priest's chambers pulled down. They rent their clothes and made great lamentation and cast ashes upon their heads.
Guess what? They humbled themselves and prayed to the Most High again, man. They constantly prayed and fasted when in just these 4 little chapters. Read on up.
And fell down flat to the ground upon their faces, and blew an alarm with the trumpets, and cried toward heaven. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress, until he had cleansed the sanctuary.
Until he had did what?
Cleansed the sanctuary.
Until they got them all up out of there, man. Still some little vagabonds. You know how they be bums all up in there, man. Y'all got to get up out of here, man. You know, read on, huh?
42. So he chose priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law.
See, the priests, the pastors these days, they conversation ain't blameless. And that goes for brothers and sisters as well. Our conversation have to be blameless. Because guess what? Words do hurt. Words can incite something. They can destroy something. Or guess what? They can build up something, man. I always use words to build up, man, in any different conversations this brother had. The thing is, think about not yourself, but your nation, man. What am I doing out here? Am I doing it for the betterment of my nation, or am I just doing it to be seen of men or for vainglory, man? Read on up.
Verse 43. Who cleansed the sanctuary and bare out the defiled stone into the unclean place. And when as they consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings, which was profane, they thought it best to pull it down, lest this should be a reproach to them.
Man, they pull that thing down, man. That thing done been so desecrated, man. We'll just build up another one, man. You know, we don't even want that stuff. It done been tainted by the other nation's hands. Pork, blood all on it, man. Come on, man. Just tear it down. Get it up out of here. Read on up.
Because the heathen had defiled it, wherefore they pulled it down, and laid up the stones in the mountain of the temple in a convenient place, until there should come a prophet to shew what should be done with them.
So guess what? The Most High always sent us prophets to show us, guess what? To give us the understanding of the scriptures, to show them what should be done in that time. Read on up.
Then they took whole stones according to the law, and built a new altar according to the form.
So guess what? They went back to search the form of history. How they did it back then, that's how they did it this time. Read on up.
And made up the sanctuary and the things that were within the temple, and hallowed the court.
And did what?
Hallowed the court.
Read on up.
They made also new holy vessels, and into the temple they brought the candlestick, and the altar of burnt offerings, and of incense, and the table
of the law. What is the candlestick? The manure. They put that thing back up in there. Read on up.
And upon the altar they burned incense, and the lamps that were upon the candlestick they lighted, that they might give light in the temple.
Now jump down to verse 52.
52. Now on the 5 and 20th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, and the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning.
Now that's the day that we going into. The 9th, like we say, the 9th month, give or take. We have to make some adjustments because like we say, even when we read, give me John chapter 10, verse 22.
Book of John chapter 10, verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem the feast of the dedication, and it was winter.
So Christ celebrated what? The feast of the dedication, and it was winter. So the feast of dedication is celebrated when? In the winter. So we have to make some adjustments. We would do it in November at the end of that month, but like we say, we made some adjustments because we understand that it is in the winter.
Shoot, our seasons. We ain't having winter in November no more.
That too.
Messing up everywhere.
It is. They
in
jack.
November, no way.
Yeah.
Right, come.
You know, so we understand we got spring, summer, fall, and winter. You know, so this is why we do this in this month. Read on up.
We'll go back to
Yeah, go back to First Maccabees. Jump down. 54.
54. Verse 54, chapter 4, First Maccabees. Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it. Even in that was it dedicated with songs and cymbals and harps and cymbals. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the God of heaven.
Praising the who?
The God of heaven.
Read on now.
Who had given them good success.
Who had given them what?
Good success.
That's what we got to pray, man. We got to pray that the Most High God is blessing us to celebrate the Feast of Dedication, man. It's a wonderful thing, man. Read on now.
And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days.
They kept it what?
And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days.
So we're supposed to keep it 8 days. But we understand due to captivity, we're not able to fully do it 8 days. So that's why we say keep the commandments to the best of your abilities. That's why we also ask brothers and sisters to get their days according to God's high holy days for future references. Read on up.
And offered burnt offerings with gladness. And sacrificed
with what?
With gladness.
So guess what? They was happy to keep the Feast of Dedication like all we should be when we get up in there. No attitudes. Guess what? Getting along with your brothers and sisters, sisters and sisters, brothers and brothers. Talk to each other, man. That's what it's for, to get to know people, because you never know what y'all have in common. What ground y'all can come on one accord with to start a business with. You just never know how the Most High God work things out, man. So get to know brothers and sisters. It's a time to be glad, a time to be joyous, man. To have a good time amongst each other, man. We know we always had these wicked holidays where wicked birthday parties start off as the kids' birthday party, but then it turned into the grown folks' party. And then Uncle Elroy always doing something because he done drunk too much. And it's a fight that break out, man. Every single time, man. We not dealing in that type of spirit here, man.
Look, we all we got, man.
We is, man. We all we got. Read on now.
And sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
Read on now.
Verse 57. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns and gold.
Read that again now.
They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold.
So that's very important, because guess what? We always deck the hell out of our houses with Christmas, but guess what? We can deck our houses with the Feast of Dedication, man.
Right.
All praise to my wife. She did that thing in the house. At first I was just like, why you doing that? You know, men, we always thinking about money, man, but then I seen it like, man, that's beautiful, man. I saw that. You know, I'm like, that's a good thing. So we should decorate our houses on the Feast of Dedication,
Yes.
man. That is a very beautiful thing. All praises to my wife for that thing, man. Gold, you know, showing royalty, man. So that was very beautiful, man. Read on up.
They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold and with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed, and hanged doors upon them.
Read on up.
Thus was there very great gladness among the people.
Read that again, up.
Thus was there very great gladness among the people.
Once again, we got to reiterate that, man. It should be very great gladness, man. Like you say, you're going to see me out there on that dance floor. No, I can't dance a lick, but I'm going to be out there doing something. Read on.
I'm going to do stinking, man.
Drinking a little something. Y'all know I don't drink, but I'm a little sweet tonight, man. See it? Maybe a quarter of a teaspoon. I don't know if that's a measurement. You know.
Take the bottom, go.
Yeah. Snip it or something. Hey, read that,
For that the reproach of the heathen was put away.
So they also had gladness because the reproach of the heathen was put away. That's what we doing now. We no longer celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving. We no longer going to church on Sunday, man. We thankful that all brothers and sisters in here on one accord to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments, man. That's a glorious thing, man. Read on now.
Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 5 and 20th day of the month Caslu, with mirth and gladness.
So they also call it what? What do they also call the Feast of Dedication? What you got, Junior? What you got? Say it again, say it loud. Hanukkah. Hanukkah means the Feast of Dedication. Now we know them fake Jews done just say,
I don't even use it.
boy, yeah, for real. We just use what's in the scripture, that's right. But to give our people the understanding to edify them, because they think in Hanukkah, so a lot of times a lot of people get Hanukkah and Kwanzaa mixed up. You know, like, no, brother. Even Kwanzaa is not our custom. Kwanzaa comes from, like I say, the Africans and all that stuff.
No. Actually, it wouldn't come from the Africans. It came from Americans who try to pick up an African tradition, that never existed. It was just something they try to, let's get on. What the Bible say?
Yeah, that's right. Read that. I'll praise for that. Because I know I get to the history mixed up a little bit. I know it wasn't it? I'll look that back up. Read verse 60 out.
Verse 60. At that time also they builded up the Mount Zion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down.
Lest the who?
The Gentiles should come and tread it down, as they had done before.
So they treaded down the temple during this time. What other time? What two time periods was the temple treaded down? Anybody knows the years? Y'all should know these too. Many times we go over. It was treaded down in 586 BC under the Babylonians. And say it, Brother Stephen.
70 BC.
You had it right. 70 AD during the time of what? Rome.
Oh, they had them all together, huh? ADC.
So y'all write that down. Read verse 61.
And they sit there at garrison to keep it, and to perceive it,
To preserve it.
to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
It tells you who the people are. Who is Idumea? What does Idumea mean? Say it. Go ahead, Junior.
It's Greek.
Say it again.
It's Greek for Edomite.
Greek and Roman word for Edomite. We putting both of their butts up in that thing. Ain't no one escaped, because I know a lot of times people reading the history, you see that the history quickly changed. You see Greeks in there, but then you read in the Maccabees about the Romans. So people think that they two different people. No, they the same people. They just trying to make themselves more than what they are. Like you got what? French. You got the great Britons, but they all say what? I am French Caucasian. I am Great England Caucasian. I am a Roman Caucasian. So they put that Caucasian always on the back of that thing. You know, we got to be careful with Esau. And with that, we say shalom, happy feast of dedication to brothers and sisters.